Inside 6 Yarns is proudly supported by 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching.
For more information, visit their website at 1951goalkeepercoaching.com.au.
Or you can find them on Facebook.
Or Instagram.
At 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching.
Links are in the description below.
Yes. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Inside 6 Yarns. I'm your host Yatesy, and with me as always, my co-host...
Mr TOMMYGUN.
Yes, indeed. So Tommy, we've got a very special guest with us. We have mentioned this man many times. I was thinking of a nice intro for him. I'm just going to say, we've got with us Mr Stew Duncan, everybody.
Yes.
How you going, Stu?
Hey everybody. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Look, it's great to finally have you on the show, mate.
Well, it's taken a while, hasn't it?
It has. We've had our humps and our bumps, and
way too long. And it's like I will be honest with everyone. We did do one episode with Stu, an impromptu one, and just as always, in an good Inside 6 Yarns fashion, I screwed it up. So I think that's just typical me. But it's all good. Hopefully this one won't screw up.
No, this will be perfect. It'll be flawless. This one will.
My hands are up here. I'm not touching any buttons at all.
Yeah.
All right, so it's all my fault.
Yeah, well, my hands are going to stay in my pocket then, just in case. So we'll just moving the way. Oh, all right. So, Stu, we just have seen the new pattern designs for the new gloves that you'll be bringing out shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk us through the the last episode we did, I could have brought them out, but they were a bit dirty, so I need to wash them, and currently they're drying at the moment, the red ones. Can you talk us through pretty much the gloves, what the latex, all the bells and whistles, what do they have and what do they got?
All right. Well, the new hybrids we released, they came out about 2.5 weeks ago now.
Yep.
They are actually, as I said, a hybrid. They are contact latex on the palm. They are a neoprene-based backhand with latex over the fingertips and silicone injected across the knuckles.
Very nice feeling.
Also the very everybody loves it now, which is the elastic wraparound wristband. So as tight as you like, as loose as you like.
Very good glove.
Do like the elastic wraparound. Do like it.
Look, it was something that was mentioned to me probably about 6 years ago. And with the original SDLs, when I changed them to the contact latex and the black, and I'd also had a pair of gloves many years ago with that same elastic wraparound. And again, it gives you more support. It's something that a lot of keepers, they do like. So it's one of those things. If they like it, don't change it, and just try and keep evolving it. The only thing we've actually done this time round is put a little tag on the end of the wristband, because everybody has the habit of when they're pulling it off, they are scraping their thumb against the Velcro, which of course is wearing away the latex on the thumb. This way, that little tag just kind of hangs out a little bit over the top of the Velcro, so they won't have that issue.
It gives it a good look too, as well. I think cosmetically, it gives it another good look.
Yeah. And it's another place to put SDL on there as well. So we've actually got it in 3 places on the glove this time around, rather than just the normal one.
3 times a charm.
It looks good. They're great gloves.
Yeah. But look, again, it's one of those things. We had something like about 60-odd pairs arrive 2 weeks ago. I'm down to about my last 20 pairs now. So
that's
they are
good.
going, and they're going well.
Very
so
good.
It was simply a case of, all right, we've done the red and black. Let's play around with some colours, and that's why I threw up those new designs. Yesterday I put them up on Facebook. This morning I put them up on Facebook.
This morning, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And everybody's gone gaga over them already.
That's good. The pink ones do look good. I'm not a fan of a pink kit, but I do like them. I do love a pink kit.
You'll be surprised how many guys physically want the pink. The girls don't. The guys do.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. A lot of them, there's a keeper that I've known for quite a few years here in Perth. His mother had breast cancer, and when he played, he brought out a pink kit and always wanted pink gloves simply for that reason, to basically remember. So, for a lot of people, it's not just the colour pink. There's something behind it.
The other things. That's a really good idea with the with the awareness and for,
I like
for the breast
I
cancer.
like the
That's a
thought
good
behind
idea.
that.
Yeah, I like that
for sure.
Yep.
That's
So yeah, there's it's not always just the colour scheme. There's usually a little bit of thought behind it. So they can, and those colours they can change because I'm getting messages all day every day from people saying, oh, can you do this or can you do that colour or you can do this colour. So it's just simply a case of you throw it in the mixing pot and see what comes out.
Yeah. Well, Stu, there's another question we want to ask you. We would like to take us back down the track when the SDL first came about, and this is the story on your journey that you've been through with the gloves and with the company. Can you take us through that?
With the gloves itself, it was one of those things that going out and spending a bucket load of money on gloves all the time, you get to a point where you go, and look, we all know a pair of gloves can last 3 games, can last 3 months. I've got some kids who have actually had the same pair of gloves for 3 years. Wow. But there is the cost involved. And,
Yeah.
you know, when you're looking at kids, they see what's on TV. Their parents have a heart attack when they suddenly find out that pair of gloves that Jasper Smichel's wearing is $280 bloody dollars, and you're not going to get the same glove. It actually is a replica that you're going to get from the sports stores.
Yeah.
So it just simply became that I was bringing out a brand of gloves from England, and somebody suggested, why don't you do it yourself? And I went through the hard yards, went through the manufacturers in Pakistan, and I'm onto my 3rd glove maker now, and this guy's bringing out the best ones of the lot.
Yeah.
But it simply was a case of bring them out. You know, we go through an average of 3 to 6 pairs of gloves a year, and that's basically starting at amateur level right up to state league. If I go back 10 years ago, I was sponsoring Alex Vitesti, Lewis Italiano, Claire Coelho, Eliza Campbell. Now, those guys go through between 10 to 15 to 20 pairs a season. They're training 5 days a week. They've got match day gloves, they've got training gloves, so it does become rather expensive, which is where you get your sponsorships coming through from. But as far as I was concerned, I was still going, and I was playing amateurs at the time. I was going through 4 or 5 pairs of gloves a season, and it does become rather expensive. So, we sat there. I had a couple of sample pairs made. It was my son's 18th birthday, believe it or not. We had Alex and Lewis both there. Showed them the gloves. They put them on. They've gone, yeah, these look all right. And we just kind of took it from there. So that was the first one. And believe it or not, I still produce those original gloves, which was a negative cut and a roll finger. Yes. So you've got the SDL originals in negs and rolls. So I still produce those, and I'm never going to stop bringing them out because they're a true trusted glove. Everybody goes back to them after a while.
They're a good glove, and I think, and for us, Tom and myself, you know, we've both had a pair of them, probably several pairs, and it's a trip down memory lane when you see them. It's like that. That's old school when you think of that the original SDL gloves. It's like, yeah, they're good.
It's Giga Latex and Mega Latex, which at one stage used to be number 1 and number 2. Then obviously now you've got the quartz, you've got the contact. Latex they're both still. They are very good latex on the glove, and yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of the boys, they don't want flash colours. We give you the option here of just a white and black glove, white contact though with white Giga Latex, and then you've got the negs which actually have the black Mega.
They're nice. I don't mind them as well. I must say, I think pretty much every single glove that you've released, I think I pretty much got them. I've still got them at home. I'll have to. I'll take a photo when I get home and I'll show you all. I've all got them stacked up neatly where I keep my boots. It's good. So with one thing that comes up to mind, Stu, is you mentioned about the pricing, because you know we all know we've brought a pair of a certain brand and it's $200-300. A lot of parents don't realise that price, and also too with these SDL gloves being there in a good price range. Parents don't mind actually paying that, and also too because it's local as well. So it's keeping in WA. But I do have to have a laugh though. Is the one thing that you always tell the kids about the gloves? And I remember you've told me about it as well, about them to look after it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things because kids don't realise they get a pair of gloves. If you go look at any local club that's got juniors in there and they've got their kit room, there is a bag, right, full of gloves that have just been thrown in the bag at the end of the day. And look, you know, I think with under 6s, under 8s, under 10s, under 12s, they rotate all the kids to make sure that they all get a chance on the park or in goals. It's until they get to around about 12s, 13s, 14s, they suddenly realise, I want to be a goalkeeper. But all of a sudden, the responsibility of the gloves become theirs.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always say to the kids when they're there, I said, okay, your mum's going to stand next to me or dad's going to stand next to me, but you're the one who has to look after the gloves because they're your gloves. And the 3 rules I have for them is don't swing off goalposts with them, right? Wash them at least once or twice a month and don't lend them to your friends because they've got no respect for them because they haven't had to pay for them.
That's it.
Yeah.
But parents a lot of the time don't have a clue of what's involved with the gloves, and they learn. They learn as time goes by. And the kids have got no idea either, but they don't have to go out and fork out the money that to get them to start off with.
That's it.
Until they get their own jobs and start paying for it themselves.
And realise how much boots and gloves can cost.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing with a goalkeeper. You've got 3 times the expense over a season of, say, an outfield player. Right? And those three expenses are 3 pairs of gloves minimum. 2 training pairs and a match day pair.
That's it. Well, I always carry 2 to 3 pairs of gloves in my kit bag. One, you know, if the the conditions a bit different or the pitch is a bit different, it's always good to have variety. But you know that it does come at an expense if you're doing that, and you know you got different boots with the cleats or with the blades or whatever. So
Do you change your gloves at half time if it's like a really wet day?
nah,
Do you keep them wet?
yeah, I'll just drain them out and then go again.
Well, that's why you find if you look at any of the overseas clubs, especially in the middle of winter, on wet days, the keepers always run out with a towel. And that's actually to try and get a lot of the moisture. You know, we all know the gloves have to be moist and have to be wet to work, but not drenchingly so.
Yeah.
I remember when Alex Witesky actually got a gig over in Singapore, and I was supplying with the gloves over there, over in Indonesia. And all he was doing was punching the ball because he couldn't catch it because of the downpour. The gloves, you just couldn't get them dry and couldn't get them to a point where the stickiness was there. It was unbelievable.
Probably
over there,
well.
everyone was punching. They weren't catching.
Far out.
Be safer.
Yeah.
That's it.
But no, it's always the conspiracy theory, Stu, but what does SDL actually stand for?
Stew Duncan Leisure.
Is that
That's the name of the business, SD Leisure.
Yeah.
Originally, when it started out,
Yeah.
it was my name, and then of course we have a little joke where everyone says, "So what does it really mean?" I go, "Silly dish lickers." Just throw names out there, but it goes back to many years ago when I was much younger. I used to work as a nightclub DJ, and
DJ
it was safe
Duncan.
for me back then never to use my last name, but to use my middle name as my last name, hence the Stuart Duncan. And I've actually gone back to that. But the L stands for leisure. So SD Leisure.
It's good. The inside scoop there for everyone listening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
good.
It's
That's
always
Look
good.
this way. That's what you're going to get. That's the reason you're going to get.
we'll talk off here. No, that's awesome. So
But again, and also too, it's a catchy thing. I know a lot of the keepers now. Like, you're wearing SDLs.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of those things.
So easy to say, and it's so and it's been around for a while as well. Like how long has SDL actually been going on for?
2013, I started with the gloves.
Yeah.
So that was when I started bringing them out myself.
Yeah.
long time.
Prior to that,
Because they were a different brand before, because the ones you brought out from the UK were Warbies.
yeah, they were Warbies. They were actually from a goalkeeper coach in England called Bob Warby, and he had his own brand of gloves.
Yeah.
So we parted ways, and then it took me a while. It took me about 6 months after, because I thought, no, I don't want to go down that road. I've had enough. But then I had somebody just keep hammering me, and finally said, okay, let's do it. So the rest, as they say, is almost history.
It's good.
They
I'm
keep
glad you
dragging me back in.
Just when I thought it was.
Oh, don't worry. It's nearly come my guts quite a few times. But you just sit there and you go, oh, do I really want to do this again? But yeah, there's something there. You go, I think at one stage I was probably one of the first ones to bring out their own range of gloves here in Perth. With my own label on it. I know there's a couple out there now, but mine was I was the first one to do it. So yes,
that's a good run though, and they're still going strong now, Stu, which is really.
I think they're going stronger than ever, really, aren't they?
Well, each time we bring out a new glove, it just seems to get better and better and better, and everyone just likes them more. Again, you don't kind of change the world. The first 3 years, I think I had 5 different styles of gloves. But all I did was I actually changed the logo and changed the colour of the wristband. But it was the same glove. So it was the original roll finger, but I brought them out with a magenta wristband, a magenta SDL on it. Then I brought out the yellow, the green, and then a cyan blue. But again, until we started doing the hybrids, the roll finger has not changed design. All I've done is change the colour.
Yeah.
So it's been the same glove all the way through. Now with the hybrids, gone through 2 different changes of hybrids, but again, the original hybrid was still a roll finger design, just with the two middle fingers as a negative cut rather than roll finger. But again, the backhand, exactly the same design. Just changed it a little bit and made it more old school, with like say as in an all white glove. So yeah.
Yeah, that was probably one of the only pairs I didn't buy because I'm just such a messy goalkeeper. I can't handle white gloves, all white gloves. I just wouldn't do it. All black, yes. All white, nah, I can't. But I know that you love them, eh?
Yeah, like I said,
I'm the same, the opposite. To my mind, an all white glove, the moment it gets dirty, you know you're doing some work.
That's true.
An all black glove, you can't even see the mud on it or the dirt on it. So you look at it sometimes and go, am I actually doing some work here?
Yeah, what's going
on? Your body tells you, but your gloves don't.
Speaking of gloves, though, Stu, what was your first pair of gloves you ever wore?
Let's go back to 1977. So that was before you guys were probably even invented.
I was just a twinkle in my dad's eye.
Yeah.
77. No, I was still in England in 77. I'd gone over there for 12 months. I hadn't come back yet. No, 78. They were a pair of Gola. Neoprene.
Wow. Yeah.
Neoprene gloves. And this was in the middle of Alice Springs. My mum had actually been in Adelaide and got a pair for me and brought them back to Alice Springs. In 1980, I was with my nightclub job, I was actually sent to Tasmania, and I landed a state league gig there.
Nice.
And Tassie being Tassie, first time I put them on, it absolutely poured down with rain, and these gloves were absolutely useless. Being a wetsuit, are more designed to keep your hands dry, not try and catch a wet ball. So I threw them in the back of the goal and just went out with bare hands.
Yeah.
So yeah, 78 and a pair of goalers, but they were almost like wearing a wetsuit.
Jeez.
Little dimples all over them, yellow and black.
Crazy. Oh yeah. We'll have to try and see if we can hook up a photo. I'll have to see.
We're gonna. Well, I think that's definitely Stu sent me a few. I probably got a few somewhere in my phone.
I've seen there's a friend of mine, a goalkeeper coach in Melbourne, and he actually still has an original pair that he had, which was the old yellow knitted with the table tennis bat material put on the backs of the fingers.
Wow.
And there's a piece of the arm.
No way.
So he's actually still got a pair of those. And he sent me a photograph of it probably about 3 or 4 years ago and said, do you remember these? I've gone, yeah.
Jeez,
but,
wow.
Yeah. But no, look, technology nowadays,
That's it. Look how far they've come.
We go back to days when I first went in goals. As a 16-year-old, you just spat on your hands, rubbed them in the dirt, and that was it. You either parried it down, or you caught it, or you punched it away. But 9 10, you parried it down, take the speed off the ball, the heat.
And those balls were a lot thicker and heavier back then than they are now.
Well, you go back to the days, you have a look at some of the centre halves or the fullbacks, or even some of the strikers now. You have a look at their foreheads and all the scar marks that they've got from the laces, from the wet, muddy ball, where they actually fought it right on the laces. So, yeah, good fun.
It's surprising how heavy they were too. And I can imagine how heavy they'd be when they get wet as well.
Because they were like leather. They were made of leather, weren't they?
Leather.
Yeah.
Leather. And look, one of the first ones I had, I remember my father actually gave me a can of Dubbin, right, and to rub that into it to actually waterproof the ball.
Wow.
And yeah, that was one of my first jobs to ever do. But again, up in Alice Springs, she didn't have much grass; it was dirt,
Red dirt.
Dirt stuck to it as well. So on top, because the Dublin made it all greasy.
And that red dirt gets everywhere.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. It's,
Everywhere.
and it gets in everything as well.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you would have wore the white gloves, you would have had red gloves by the end of it.
It's funny. I've actually played back in Alice. They've got a Masters Games tournament up there every 2 years.
Oh, nice.
And from 2004 to 2010, I went back up there and I actually played against the guys that I used to play with in one of the teams up there. So we played with a bunch of guys from Queensland. We're all called the Gold Coast Beach Boys. Yes, quite
That's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, 5 days, 5 games of football in 5 days.
Oh,
That's good.
Suddenly sit there by day 4 and you're going, somebody remind me why we're doing this again, please. Because we're all playing, we're all in our 40s and we're playing against 35-year-olds. Because the Masters games up there, there was no kind of vets. There was no 35, 40. It was 30 and that was it.
jeez.
That's crazy.
That'd
No,
be pretty full on.
it's good though.
I
Like,
didn't have to chase after him as a 45-year-old, but some of the other boys did.
oh man, but it's probably good for the viewers to probably get a picture behind SDL. I think because I think a lot of people probably don't understand when we make like funny jokes and stuff, and then that Stu's probably laughing at when he watches us. But then people don't understand it as much, so it's good to get a little bit of a face behind it.
Agreed.
Well, look, you guys have known me now Luke, I think I met you. Were you still at Forry and you bought your first pair of SDLs probably around about 6 years ago?
If that, I think when the first ones came out, yeah.
And then I brought out some futsal ones, some fingerless ones as well, and you bought a pair of those.
Oh wow!
You see, it was one of those things where you bring out the gloves first. And now, obviously, the clothing's starting to come through. So the 3/4 pants, the new kits, the retro kits.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that we decided that we'd make this whole in solely for goalkeepers, and everything that goes with it, the flow on.
That's it. And the really good thing about it is it's like you are advertising it, but it's also to the word of mouth of other goalkeepers and other people that know. Yeah. Kids will see a state league player wear gloves, or what are they, or the SDL. Oh yeah, but everyone who gets a pair rates it and tells everyone about it. So for someone at one club might get one pair of gloves, and the next thing you know, the whole club's getting them.
Yeah. I think at one stage, definitely not so much now because I don't push it as much as I used to. But at one stage and this was when it was still State League Prem, not MPL.
Yeah.
Out of the 12 clubs, I had 9 goalkeepers all wearing SDLs.
That's good.
And that was all your first team keepers. Nowadays, you look at the likes of Jason Saldaris. Jason's been wearing them since Over first brought them out. And he still does. And I've got Jordan Barbas and also Josh Hunter. So, reserves, backup, keepers, they're all wearing them. So, and it's usually a case of it filters the way down through the team. So you get your first team keeper, then you get your resis, then you get your 18s.
Yeah.
Again, at one stage, I wanted to go out and have every single goalkeeper in Perth wearing SDL gloves. I think at one stage I probably had that happen. But it's also one of these things too that I don't push it down people's throat. If they want to wear, a Royce or a Sells or a Yule Sports, it's wholly solely up to them. It becomes a point with gloves that it is a personal choice.
Yeah,
what
for sure.
some might like, some might not like. And I know some guys who wear an SDL for training, but come match day, they'll put a pair of Royces on or a pair of Geoffers. So it's wholly solely up to them. It doesn't get pushed down their throats.
And that's the good thing about it. I saw, obviously it was a very young attractive man wearing it. Some of the photos you put up on SDL modelling for you. But on the weekend, there was it young Danny from Kelmscott wearing the retro shirt?
Yeah.
He had the retro shirt, and also too on the Sunday, because he'd stepped up to the Resies on Saturday, but on the Sunday, the 16s that his dad coaches, the goalkeeper in there had it as well. We've got young Aaron up in at Kingsway. He's got a retro kit. And then you got Christy Swift out at Forestfield Girls. She's got one as well. So they're starting to get there. We had a few issues with the manufacturers not doing what we wanted. Yeah. So that's hopefully under control now, and the next lot will be here in the next 3 to 4 days, I've been told.
Oh, yeah,
so that's good.
Get some more out there. But the long sleeves were the ones that caused us the nightmare. Short sleeve was never an issue. But yeah, they've got this thing you didn't say put a cuff on it, so they just hemmed them rather than putting a cuff on it. And you go, it doesn't good for anybody. No. But yeah, Danny will the kit, and look, it does look good, because you've got the option where you've got the top, and then there's 3 different coloured shorts that you can wear as well. So you can just go straight black, you can wear a red, or you can wear a lime green just to match the actual tops. So,
looks good. Looks good. I like it.
We're getting some good mileage out of it now, and again, with this season, the way it's been, it's not been an easy one for everybody.
No, that's right.
So it's trial and error. Hopefully next season, a few more might jump on board with the kits, especially the clubs.
I think they will, and I think too, even the small sided games, 6-a-side, or those type of things. I think you'll find too a few people jump on as well, because it is a groovy kit, and it's a nice kit too. Like, it's good quality. And it feels comfy. So it's a. And
again, we've priced it right where we can do the full kit, so socks, shorts, and tops, and we'll put a badge on there, and we'll put your number on there for $50.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's
good value.
Normally you're paying $50 just for the top.
Yeah, that's it. Not including anything else.
Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of tops, because I like a good segue, I do believe you're having an event coming up soon. It's like revolving around some wars.
Oh, the old goalkeeper battle. Actually, no, I'll do the plug right. It's the 2020 Perth Goalkeeper Battle, number 3.
That's the name. There we go. The third one.
Yes, and of course, we will tell everybody that, Luke, you won the very first one.
Yes, won the first one.
Oh, we've never heard that before on the show, have we? Have we, Yatesy?
Maybe once or twice. It's,
Michaeli from 1951 Goalkeeper Coaching and I kind of Michaeli came up with a concept about 2.5 years ago now, nearly 3 years ago.
Yeah, nearly 3.
And we kind of did a rush on that one and put it together in a February. We had 40 goalkeepers turn up. First time it ever been done in Perth. We did the second one last year in October. Yep. We had 80 goalkeepers turn up.
Wow.
This way, at the moment, I can safely say we have got 80 goalkeepers registered, and we've still got 6 weeks before we say no more.
Jeez.
So we only launched it 3.5 weeks ago.
Far out.
So it's going to be big. We want to hit 120 goalkeepers. We will stop it at 120 goalkeepers.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously the organisation of it is pretty full on. So we want to make sure that everybody enjoys themselves and there's no major hassles or dramas. Because we've got to find referees for 120 goalkeepers prepared to stay there for 6 days. 6 hours, not 6 days. And this year as well, we've just hit now. We've got enough young ladies, so we're going to have 2 ladies groups.
Oh, nice. That's really good.
We'll be a young age group, and then we're going to have the senior ladies. So we've got 8 of them, including 2 NPL keepers already, or the WA NPL keepers already.
Look out. That's good.
It's going to be good for the girls.
Yeah, that's good. And it just seems that every year you do it, Stu, it just gets bigger and better, including more people. Like the thing that I love about it is that it is a day for goalkeepers, and not only as the seniors, but there's the juniors, and you see how much enjoyment those kids get when they walk in there, get their gloves, get their shirt with their name on it. It's actually quite enjoyable having a laugh and watching, because they just get right into it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I can tell you right now, the biggest kid who actually is there on the day is Michaeli, right? And I'm probably number 2, coming close behind him. But yeah, look, it's been designed simply for goalkeepers to actually show off your talents, have some fun, enjoy the day, and just let it all come together. You know, you've had a long season. This year it'll probably a little bit different, but everything you've had that you've done at training, everything you do in match day, here it is, you against another goalkeeper. There's no surprises. It's just you against another keeper, and whoever can score the most, because you get 10 shots each. Whoever scores the most amount of goals gets the points, goes through a round robin. Then you get into your semi-finals, your quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then there's the final in each age group. So we start at 2011 is the youngest, and then we build it all the way up. This year we're going to have a Masters in there as well. We've got about 6 Masters already turned up.
Oh, nice. Are you going to jump in that one, Stu, are you, mate?
I'd like to say yes, but unfortunately I've had a scan on my knee, and it's possibly the answer will be no.
No.
I won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a shame.
Again,
You
still got 6 weeks to go, so who knows?
You still got 6 weeks.
you watch him. You'll get that, like, oh, I'll be all right. She'll be all right.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah, then try and walk 3 days later, for the next 3 days after. One thing I have learned over the years, finally, that, if the body says no, don't do it.
Don't push it. You're going to pay for it afterwards.
Yeah. Again, it's not throwing it or diving around. It's kicking the ball that is the issue. But again, I'd love to go in it. You know, I think the first year, one of the 19s or 18s had to pull out. And, of course, I got asked if I want to go in it. So I was playing against the 19-year-olds. And you suddenly go, what did I do this for? But again, it's a good fun day for the keepers. And, as you say, look, every kid that's there has an absolute ball, and they can't wait for the next one. 3 months after they finish, then we start getting messages on the page. When's the next battle? When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? So
can we have another one
we've
now?
got 1st of November is when it's going to happen.
Yeah, 1st November. Look, I'm really excited for it. I know Tommy is. We talk about it.
So excited.
And the thing is getting the word out as well and sharing it out. And look, I'd love it to get 120 goalkeepers 2 weeks before, or even earlier.
I don't doubt that we're going to get it, and I reckon we'll get it within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, Michaela and I've got a little thing going at the moment. We're on 80 goalkeepers now. We only need another 20. We hit 100. Then we another 20 later, and we got 60 goalkeepers in the first 2 weeks.
Jeez. Yeah.
Right, and you'll suddenly find now a lot of keepers are still kind of trying to concentrate on the season.
Yeah.
Right, that's first and foremost in their heads. But as that slowly starts coming to a close, which is 5 weeks away now.
Yeah, 3 weeks. We've got 3 weeks left of the normal season, and we've got another 5 weeks of
finals.
Of the season after the table splits.
Yep. Yeah.
And then we've got finals after that.
We worked out roughly that there was no AFL, no more football games. There was no registrations or trials or anything coming up.
No.
So that's why we hit 1st November. And for a change, we're actually going to do it on the Sunday this year as well. So I think we're going to have an orientation day on the Saturday, but Michaela and I've got to work that out.
Ooh,
so I'll be there
idea.
talking about gloves. We're going to have a couple of other people talking about first aid and also preparation. So we're going to have a physio there. And we've got about 4 or 5 sponsors coming on board this time as well.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
That's awesome.
So it's, look, it is it is a costly event to put together. All the help that we can get has made it a little bit easier for us.
Good.
Obviously, there's the shirts that we go out and get. We hire the ground. Also the gloves as well. So it just makes it a little bit easier for everybody. But again, it's going to be an awesome day. We just can't wait for it to come around again.
It's good. And I just can't wait to hear his 5-song remixes that he plays. And there's
No. Sorry, no. I'm doing the music this year.
Oh, what? No way. Oh.
DJ Duncan's in the house.
Yeah.
No, you sit there and you listen to all the stuff. Look, again, it's just one of those things that at the end of the day, that's the last thing we actually think about, because all the registration forms have got to be signed. Then we've got to get the certificates. Then we've got to get this. Then we've got to get that. And everyone says, what about the music? And we go, okay.
That's all right, Stu. It's pretty easy these days. You just plug your phone in, plug a Spotify playlist on, and
I've got Spotify with about 4,500 songs on it.
Yeah,
just shuffle it around. The kids will go, "What's this song?" Eagle Rock or something. Who knows?
Yeah. No, since you brought that up, so I want to say something because I know you have good taste in music because we've spoken about music before, but what I'm hearing at the moment on the radio is people like they're redoing songs again, and then you tell them, well, hang on a second, they didn't sing this song, someone else did, and they go, hang on a second, no, they didn't, and they look it up and they realize the song's been out for 20 years.
Yeah,
completely goalkeeper related, but that's just there was one thing that was annoying me today.
My three kids had to put up with me. They're in their 20s now, but you can imagine what it was like in the early 2000s, where I only finished playing working in nightclubs in 92, 93. So, of course, they'd hear this wonderful song in 2000 and I'd go, do you want to hear the original? Oh, I suppose you've got the original, have you done it? Yeah, funny about that, I do have. So, my kids grew up with 70s and 80s music, and they absolutely love it. And it was always one of those things that, for some unknown reason, the early 2000s, that was all revamped 80s and 90s music, 70s and 80s music, I should say.
Even you find like samples and bits off songs. You're like, oh, that sounds like this song, and you're like, oh, yeah, it is. They stole it from that one.
Yeah. It's what happens. This is like Pitbull's the worst for it, man. Mate.
Well, at least he tells you who he is when he starts every single song.
Yeah, Mr. 305.
Completely goalkeeper related, but look, we just thought to throw that in there because it was annoying me today.
Yeah.
So again, for everyone who didn't hear it, 1st November is the 2020 Perth Goalkeeper Battle number 3.
Yeah.
1st of November. Put that in your calendar, son.
Your diary. Put it on your next door neighbour's cat when it comes over, and you feed it so you know. Like, just put it everywhere. Let everyone know.
And again, if they want to know any more details, they can go onto either the SDL Facebook page, 1951 goalkeeper coaching, and then there is actually the Perth Goalkeeper Battle page as well.
Yes.
So our contact details are there. They can all find out about it.
And all will be in the link in the description below of the video.
That's it. And again, we've got plenty of goalkeepers already. There will be. Last year, I think we had 5 girls all up. This time already, we're looking at 8 in the seniors, and we've got 5 juniors. So it will be big. It's not just for boys; it's for goalkeepers of all genders.
Even too, like it's if you are unsure or you're not up to speed what goes on, go on the Facebook page there, have a look at because there was some video footage of all of them.
Yeah.
And even come down and watch. If you're a goalkeeper and you're not quite sure, just come down and watch and just be involved in that experience and that environment because it's unreal.
Yeah.
You won't find anything like that in WA or even in Australia with that type of stuff. It's just that's how Tom and I became friends through the first goalkeeper battles.
That's how I met you. That's how I met you. Well,
that's it. We all sat there the first one and gone, okay, this could be fun because with Michaela and I putting it together so quickly, I was actually in Broome for 2 weeks just before it happened. And, we were totally unsure we're going to make this happen. But, we did. Everybody turned up. Everyone had a ball.
It was great.
The guys in the men's shed got to kick back the footballs that had been kicked over the roof. So, it was all good fun.
Brendan.
I think I was guilty with that sometimes too. So,
sorry, Mr. Woodall.
Have you got insurance covered for the Fremantle roof there too? Because that got hammered a bit.
That's already taken care of.
Oh, good.
Apparently, you don't have to worry about that because at least they've got all the windows kind of grilled up already. So
that's good.
It's not the kids we have to worry about. It's you guys.
I know it is. It's us.
Guilty as charged. I think the worst thing is when you're behind or near the goals. You can't take your eyes off because if someone's having a shot and you're not paying attention, you're going to cop
one.
Stop one with your face.
Look, it's happened a couple of times. There's a few people that cop the ball and go, well, you want to sit there? Sorry. But we do have a net there. But, unfortunately, it doesn't stop them all. No. There's always one that's going to get through.
Yeah.
We have a net there, but it's useless.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, it's good.
It's like having me in the goals. It's like it's good. It's good when you look at it, but it doesn't help you.
Again, it's going to be a good day. We're looking forward to it.
Agreed. We'll be there, as you know, so we'll both be competing. Tommy and I.
Yes.
So, and look, we'll come down to the orientation day as well if it goes ahead and help out a bit too if you need any help.
You can advertise that as well. Like just say Tommy Gun Yatesy will be present, and you'll watch everyone just run away.
Guys, you're bringing your microphones down to the battle as well. Don't worry about that.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Interview some people.
So you'll be there, and I've actually seconded a person to give you a hand. Previously, he's worked on for 6PR, and just recently he's been over in Sydney with an AFL football club as one of their media guys.
Oh, that's great, because I need a media guy because I'm freaking useless.
We'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, if I'll sort you out. Oh, that's good. That's great. And I know that you're going to be photographers there. I think we've said it about 20 times already, but it's just going to be a great day.
Yeah, it's something that we're really looking forward to, and I think it will be the best one yet, because I think it will just be big, because it just gets better every time. The only thing that I didn't like about the last battle,
we've had a few teething problems. We've managed to go through them, it's they're not teething problems that can't be rectified and can't be fixed pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so they're good like that, and we've learned from the last two, and this one's just a little bit better again.
Ooh, exactly.
Can't wait.
Onwards and upwards.
That's it
as well.
That's it.
Nah. But speaking of all the new gear that you're coming out, I'm really looking forward to wearing your 3/4 pants tomorrow at training. And I finally got them, and I'm really looking forward to wearing them. But yeah, I'm also kind of like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, look, I wore them at coaching 2 weeks ago, and yeah, look. It's one again. It was something I've been meaning to do for a long time.
Yeah,
had a couple of other designs come out, and they just go nah. Obviously, a few people have said, "Oh, is there any chance of putting padding on them?" To be honest, no. But there are plans afoot of actually having almost like an Under Armour underneath them. I don't know if you've seen Nick. He actually wears Under Armour underneath his normal shorts.
Yep.
Again, it's built to the old days of padded shorts, forget it. It may make you look like a goalkeeper, but it's scientifically proven that it hurts just as much hitting the ground with padded shorts on as it does without padded shorts.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Hit the deck the right way.
I like the I've got a pair of the compression shorts that have padding on them, which is a lot better.
Well, that's in the pipeline, but unfortunately, all these things take a little bit of time to develop and get sorted, and
that's it.
Everybody suddenly wants new gloves on top of that as well.
Yeah, so different colours and then.
Yeah, I know. Can't do everything at once.
No, exactly. You got too many things in the pipeline, Stu.
Yeah. Times it feels like that. I tell you.
But I'm also looking forward to wearing my new snood.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, got some new snoods.
Yeah, that was one from left field that got thrown at me one Friday afternoon. Thanks, Cyril.
Was that Cyril that gave you the idea?
He gave me the idea. And
there we go.
He says, "You ever heard of a snood?" And I went, "A what?"
What did you call me?
He said, "Snood." I went, "What the hell is a snood?" He said, "Oh, it's a beanie." I said, "Yeah, I can do beanies." He said, "No. A beanie with the roll becomes a roll neck, like a neck warmer." I've gone, "Really?" I put it out there, and of course, I had 10 made, and I've only got 2 left.
Yeah.
But they've just gone crazy.
Yeah, neck warmers. Yeah, they're good. I love it. I got one.
You can make it into a beanie too, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tuck it right over your head. Yeah.
Oh, all you do is you because it's got the little drawstring at the top. So you undo that, right? Pull that over and tighten it up at the top of your head, and it just you look like one of the 7 dwarfs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, turn around, Tom. What's that thing you got on your head right now?
It's a beanie. There's not my snood. Okay. Not my snood.
No, not a snood.
It's not my snood. I left it. It's in the washing machine. I've already used it, and it stank.
The snoods they're starting to take off as well. But again, it's just something that it still does make me laugh when you see, around the traps, especially in the middle of winter. Yes, we have cold winters here, but nowhere near like we have over East or over in Europe.
Oh no!
And you got the outfit players running around wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And you go, don't really need them. But there again, if I'm coaching, sometimes I put the gloves on just to keep my hands warm rather than using them. Yeah.
And then you get the temptation come back and you're like, oh, maybe I can do a dive. And then you do a dive. And like, oh, no, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, see, when I coach the seniors, I don't do that at all. The juniors, sometimes you've got to kind of stamp your authority and go, look, you know, I'm not wearing these gloves just for show. Yes, I can show you how to do it. And so you do. You hit the deck and you go, okay, we're not going to be doing that for another couple of weeks.
Yeah. I think
Good.
training those kids sometimes is like herding cats. Like sometimes they could be absolute angels and gems, and they'll listen and they pick stuff up, and other times you're pulling your hair out.
In one ear, out the other. Yeah.
That's it. That is it. Their attention span, and that's the difference between coaching kids and coaching teenagers and coaching adults. Is, you know, kids have got an attention span of that much, and after having 3 kids myself, you suddenly forget until you get put in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First night I coached, we had, what was it? Did you come down and give me a hand, Luke?
Yeah, I helped you at Kelmscott for a bit.
12
Yeah.
kids. One session, I've just gone. Yeah.
What do I do?
So luckily Luke came down and we ended up splitting into 2 groups. But now, because I coach at Kelmscott on Thursdays, I've got 5 juniors, and then we've got a split group with the 14s and the 16s, and then we get the seniors. But hey, don't worry. Sometimes the senior guys can be just as bad as the kids.
I was just about to say that. I reckon sometimes it could be a bit like that.
You just really want to go. Send them to a naughty corner.
Yeah, or make them do laps around.
Yeah, well, you know what Kelmscott's like. There's two limestone walls, and we were doing a drill the other day with the juniors, and the rules were quite simple: keep the ball on the deck, and as the keepers are, don't use your feet. Right? And the punishment was quite simple: you run a lap to the wall.
Yeah.
Right. In that half an hour drill, I had them go to the wall 8 times. And all their parents were sitting there going, oh, you beauty, they're going to sleep well tonight. And I went, well, yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. And they'll be fit too.
They were absolutely shattered at the end of it. And they said to me the following week, can we to the other wall? Can we move all the stuff closer to the wall? I went, no, we leave
We're going to move further away.
Because there are 2 walls, and they get threatened with the furthest wall, which is probably only about, I don't know, half a kilometre away.
Yeah.
And they've got to run back again. It's right at the other end of the park.
Yeah, I've definitely been on the victim of a few laps from the Stew.
See, I've been lucky. I haven't got that yet, but I do remember the rules: no flossing.
No flossing.
No
Oh, yeah.
flossing, and you don't.
That was a big thing 2 years ago when all that was out. You got to keep standing like you in
and no nutmegging.
Yeah.
When Stu's coaching, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, those are the rules.
Yeah. Well, there was one with you, Tom, where literally we're set up to do a drill, and this was pre-season when you came down, and I'll give you 3 chances. If you mess it up the 3rd time, you do a lap. I think I had you, I had Danny, and I had Taylor, all doing laps at one stage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but
That's good. It's good for your fitness, and it's good to have that thing, a bit of punishment there behind it. So, you want to focus and concentrate on doing it properly.
I think that's the main thing for me. It's like the focus and the concentration. So like, as soon as you like, you're like, shit, all right, then you're like, go for a lap, and you're like, all right, no, now I need to bloody concentrate now. All right, switch on.
Most of our stuff as keepers, we don't have to run laps. Yes, we've got to be fit, but we've got to be core fit. It's short, sharp, 5-10 yard work for us. 18 yards maximum is what we have to run. So again, it's the short, sharp stuff, and you've got to stay alert for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it for 3 minutes in a drill, there's something seriously wrong.
That's it.
And you've got to stay switched on the whole time.
That's it. Well, that punishment of running can be technically a goal conceded.
Well, if you can't concentrate for 3 minutes in a drill, how can you concentrate for 90 minutes?
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, my maths isn't very good, but
in a 90-minute game, we will turn off, right? From time to time.
Yeah.
Just managing to do it at the right time.
Exactly.
We've all seen the games, even in English Premier League, where the guys run back into his goal mouth to grab a drink, right? And the ball's been hoofed from the halfway line, and it's in the back of the net while he's still taking a drink out of his water bottle.
I'm so cautious with that now.
Yeah.
Ever since I watched that exact video,
you go down
of
and
that
pick your bottle, and you're like,
And again,
it's usually a corner. It's usually a corner.
This guy's a professional footballer.
Yeah.
Turned off and got made to look like an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
But it does happen. Just for us, it's good because it just basically says, look, okay, we're all human. We're all going to make a mistake. Just don't make it in front of 80,000 people. So yes.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like, 'cause I remember watching that video because I think it was something like his team scored, but then he got called offside. So he celebrated, but then he's gone back to his goals, and then they've just taken it quickly, and then all of a sudden,
they just thought he wasn't switched on.
Yeah. So like, you can just see that.
They're painful. They're painful to watch, those ones.
That's nearly as painful as poor old Ter Stegen the other night. Like Barcelona keeper conceding 8 goals.
Oh yeah, that was a big score.
8-2.
Jeez,
I can't remember. I can't remember.
I conceded the game was 15.
Oh no, 15.
Wow,
That was a cup game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I was playing for 3rd Division Vets team, and we played a Premier League team, and 15 goals later. Thanks for coming.
How many did you save though? I bet you saved a lot more than what you let in.
Well, I got told that they actually counted 27.
There you go.
It should have been 27-0.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
But the thing is, we actually scored first, which I think really annoyed them.
Okay, you pissed them off.
We scored in the first 15 minutes.
Woken the
Right,
beast.
we were just going, well, this is all right. These guys are Prem. They're going to hit us pretty hard. Didn't realise how hard it was going to be. Yes.
15 goals later.
Exactly.
And that's up until that stage. I think I'd only ever conceded 7 in a game, and that was going back to when I was playing state league in the early 80s in Tassie. I'd copped 7 in a game.
I was just thinking about 8-2. I was like, how many rounds are we in now? We round 8, round 9?
I think so. Yeah.
Round 9 this week?
Yeah.
Because we've played 8 games and I've conceded 8 goals in 8 games through my state league at the moment. So I'm just like, they've conceded all of my goals in one game. Like that's just
It's amazing. It's also too how do you come back from that? You know, there'd be a few keepers that would struggle.
That would wreck me. That would wreck me.
But look, we all know we've talked about it. It's a mind game.
Yeah.
It's in the back of the net. Unless you know that you've made the blunder, there's nothing you can do to change it. So put it aside, look towards and just make sure it tries not to happen again. But at the end of the day, there's 10 other boys on that park.
Exactly.
If they're not doing their jobs properly, then you're the one who's going to be the busiest. So it's just it is a goalkeeper thing where they all remember us for the ones we let in. They don't kind of remember us for the fact that we kept the back line steady, or our distribution was absolutely awesome. And you scored 3 goals because we actually put the ball from the back to the right guys and away it went. But it's they always remember us for the ones that go through, and especially and we're all going to have a howler. Right, sometimes 2 or 3 in a game, but at the end of the day, it's football, and the ball's in the back of the net. There's nothing you can do about it.
Move on and go.
Except make sure it doesn't happen again, especially if it was your fault.
That's it.
Easy said than done.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest bit, and I've talked a lot with it at Stew, and we do talk about the mental side of it, and the fact that it is so hard as a goalkeeper mentally. The physical side is difficult as well, but the mental side and the pressure, and I think that's something that I struggle with the most. But it's just it's very taxing on the mind, and I think
Well, you imagine if your boot's on the other foot where you're 6-0 up, you're absolutely cruising. You've had nothing to do all day, and all of a sudden you concede the easiest goal you can ever possibly imagine because you switched off.
Yeah.
It is mentally tough on keepers to stay alert the whole time.
Yeah.
We know what we do as far as we don't control the game, but the back line and even to a certain degree the midfield, right? It all comes from us. And at the end of the day, we have to be on point the whole time. And you will get the occasion where it's not going to happen and the wheels fall off. But goalkeeping is a mental game. That's why we always say, it's fairly unique. We're the idiots that dive at people's feet. And we're also the ones that, cop the kicks in the heads and the dislocated fingers and the broken fingers. But we've got to be mentally tough because also, too, if you've got a crowd behind you, you're copping their stuff as well.
That's it. That's it. Just got to ignore it.
Dodgy keeper.
There is that. And then, back in the 70s when I first started playing in goal, there was all the abuse in multicultural languages.
Oh, loves it.
I learnt to swear in Italian rather fast, and I knew what certain words meant, especially when they were aimed at me. And you can just, it's just one of those things. You're the easiest target because you're sitting there, right, and you're copying it left, right, and body centre.
That's it.
So you got to be mentally tough, physically tough, and slightly crazy to be a goalkeeper.
I agree with those last bits. Few screws loose.
Yeah, there's definitely a screw loose in all of the keepers that definitely put on the gloves. All the good ones, anyway.
Even some of the bad ones. They're all mentally not all quite there at times. But that's in a nice way.
Yes, of course. Only in a nice way.
In a very nice way. The nicest of ways.
The nicest
of ways.
Yeah.
All right. But thank you very much for joining us today, Stu. It's been a good chat with you, mate.
Guys.
Definitely need to bring you back on. We need to talk more about you as well, more about the state league and what you've actually accomplished there as well, because I don't think we touched on a lot of that today, but I think we need to talk more about that. But we did cover a lot on the goalkeeper battle, and especially the most important part being your gloves and your clothing that's come out, because we're really, obviously there's lots of people who've been really excited about it. And the retro kits, I think Christy has done an amazing job in the design with that. Obviously,
she was a brilliant job. I just turned around and I said, right, this is what I want. This is what I want. Next minute, she just come back and says, "Okay, here's 6 of them." I've gone, "I only want 4." But she had, and the fact that she wears one herself as well is absolutely brilliant. But she also designed the new battle shirt that we're doing this year as well. So hats off to Christy for that one.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking for graphic designers, it's KS Designs.
There we go.
Right?
And we'll also probably put a link to that in the description below as well.
Yeah. It was something because she actually was doing full-time graphic design work, and then obviously married, having kids, she kind of gave it away.
Yeah.
And she's back into it again. And again, the kits and the new battle shirt are a testament to her ability as far as design work is concerned.
They do look very good.
Yeah, and I had no idea that she was a graphic designer as well. And we trained with her at Kelmscott a lot last season, and lovely lady, and definitely need to contact her to bring her on the show so she can talk to us more about her design process as well, and congratulate her on the good designs as well. But yeah, I think that's good for another episode. Thanks again, Stu, for joining us, mate. Much appreciated.
Not a problem. Again, thanks for having me on, guys.
Awesome, not a problem. I've been Tommy Gunn.
That'll make me 80.
And this has been Inside 6 Yards, guys. Take care, stay safe. I'll speak to you in a bit.